to Fourby, and welcome back to my workshop. Now, the last time we were here, we were messing around with a bit of stainless steel, trying to make some captive nuts for the back of the tub on the 110. Now, first time round, I got my dimensions completely wrong. So I've had to revisit it and redraw it and remake another sample and fit that. Now, I think with any restoration project, eventually you're going to open up a few cans of worms, and today I opened up a can of worms. So come and join me and you'll see what that's all about. So we're over at the back of the tub, and this is not the captive plate that I made on film the other day. This is a new one, because the first one I'd got my dimensions slightly wrong, but hopefully this one's going to fit. So let's see. And that is looking good. So I think what we're going to do is fix it in place just temporarily with some Clecos. And work on that. Looks nice. The hole spacing looks nice on there. What I found after doing the first one is I got my measurements wrong, and I came back and I had another look at it, and I was looking for a nominal measurement, as you always do whenever these things are drawn. In the very first instance, they're drawn to a standard dimension, and I was looking at that thinking that was somewhere in the region of 40mm, and that's what I was working to. But actually, I looked at it again, I remeasured it again, and then I converted my millimeters into an imperial size. And when I did, I found that an imperial size of 1.5 inches on these hole centers was about right. So I ran with 1.5 inches as my hole pattern, and this is what I've come up with. So I think what we've got in this instance is an imperial measurement left over from years ago when these were first put together, when they still worked in inch measurements, even though this car, when it was built on a time when everybody was converted to metric. So we'll make another few of these up. We've got 2 to make in total, along with this one, and we'll see if they're any good. Before we do, let me just screw this one on, see if it fits. So I've got this wooden block here, which is just chocking up the tub against this cross member, and we'll have a go. Let's see where we get. I did chase these threads out with a tap, and that, I think I just got a bit of swarf, bit of grime in the back of that one. But that looks good. I'm happy with that. Let me take the Clecos out and see how we're doing on our rivet holes. And that looks to be about bang on. I'm happy with that. So leave those in. I'm going to go and make another 2 of these to that dimension, and then we can secure the back of the tub here. Now this is interesting. This one, the centre one, fits perfectly. I'm just going to bring you across to the next one along, and we'll have a quick look at this one. Now look at this. Now what I do know about this car is the cross member is not the original part of the chassis. This is an aftermarket cross member, because I know that because one, I know the history of the car, but two, when I stripped it down to the chassis I could see where it had been welded in, and I had to do some work on those welds. Obviously it was welded with the body on, and I'd got the opportunity while the body was off to tidy up those welds and make them nice. But look at this. This tab is nowhere near in the right position for the centre. And if I move you over to the other side, this one is better, but still it's not brilliant, and you can see the hole centres don't match the hole centres of this. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to play this at this stage, but something is going to need to be modified very slightly to get all this to line up. And I think the responsibility for this misalignment is the aftermarket cross member, because I would have thought that these holes are original, and now I can see why it's been butchered. And if I take this centre one off and lift this up, you'll see the butchery that's gone on behind there. Now we move along all the way to the near side, and this is the near side under here. This is where your number plate would go. These holes, these line up well. Let me show the other side. This side I haven't done anything with the paintwork, as you can probably tell. The other side's had a bit of love. Now this is the other side, and this, it does line up with a bit of squeeze, put a bit of pressure on, it does line up. As you can see, this side's been painted, reflectors are on, lights are on, fog lights on, and it lines up. But the two intermediate tabs in the middle don't, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and explains why those holes have been butchered. Now with that tab removed, you can see the extent of the butchery that's gone on behind here, and I'm not entirely convinced that this is worth fixing in terms of trying to put an extra bit of metal in there. But if we can put another captive plate in behind and rivet it on there, then that position about there is more like where it needs to be. And as you can see, it's come up by probably 8 mil, something like that, and maybe even needs to come across just very slightly. So we'll clean around here with a flap disc, get it down to bare metal, fill in any divots that we took out with the grinder, grind it back, get it flush, clean this up, and We'll build another captive plate to go behind here, bolt it on, and then we can redo that weld. And I think that's the best we can do, because the centre lines up, the outside holes line up. It's just these two intermediary tabs that are wrong. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.